Welcome to the Cryptosphere. This is Cryptogenic coming at you. Today is Thursday, March 17th at about 2 p.m. here in Northern California. In today's video, I'm going to take a look at the crypto market to ask the question, what is the next destination for Bitcoin? Are we going up or are we going down? We're going to look at evidence from the chart and by extension, what is the next destination of the crypto market as a whole? Which direction are we going to move? Let's take a look at these charts. First, I'm going to start with the weekly Bitcoin chart, and I'm seeing something very encouraging here on the weekly Bitcoin chart. Do you see it? Do you see it? On the weekly chart, we have a higher high. Look at this. This high, we've broken above that high. So we've got two higher lows, and now we've just made a higher high. That is bullish for Bitcoin. That is bullish for Bitcoin. We've also got a nice full green bullish engulfing candle. However, once again, there's still 3 days and 4 hours to go in this week. We could collapse back down to this line just like we've done 1, 2, 3. I mean, if you think about it, if you just look at the bodies of these candles, for the last 3 consecutive weeks, we've basically just been inside this range here. For 3 consecutive weeks. We've been in a very tight range. If I can zoom in there just so you can see. For 3 consecutive weeks, we've just been stuck in this range. Really between 38 and 36, the mid-38s and the mid-36s. And so the question is, are we going to collapse back down into that range, or are we going to close above it? If we close above that range, that will be bullish for Bitcoin moving forward. Now, let's take a look at the daily chart. On the daily chart, we can see the indecision in the market, but stretched out over a little bit, well, basically zoomed in a little bit more than the weekly chart, but stretched out going all the way back to November of 2021. We see that we've been in this pullback, but we started making higher lows, but we're simultaneously making higher lows and lower highs. That's a triangle. In the RSI, same thing, lower highs, but higher lows, the triangle. So remember, higher lows is bullish, but lower highs is bearish. So when you're in a triangle, you're looking at indecision in the market. You're looking at conflicting indicators that say we're both bullish and bearish simultaneously, which means the market is undecided for the moment. The real question is, which way is Bitcoin going to move from this triangle? And if we break bullish out of this triangle, which should happen in the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So we got about 3 weeks maximum. In 3 weeks maximum, we're going to break out of this triangle. But it could be any time. It could happen much sooner than that. It could happen today. It could happen tomorrow. It could happen next week. But it's got to happen with 3 weeks because just from a pure time frame perspective, come April 7th, we're outside of this triangle for better or for worse. If we break bullish from this triangle, my next target's going to be $62,570. Why? Because the depth of this triangle is about 51%. And so that gives me a target of about 50% from the break of this triangle. However, if I take the depth of this triangle from a bearish perspective and divide that 33% in half, that would be my next target. And that would take us down to about $32,000. So can Bitcoin break down to $32,000? Absolutely, but I see this as the base. If we do break down to $32,000, it's probably just going to be a wick down that touches this line and turns around and moves up. I really don't think Bitcoin can break. It's going to be very difficult for Bitcoin to break beneath $32,000. And, my reasoning for that is Tesla's cost basis is $32,000. And Tesla is a $1 trillion company right now. It's more than $1 trillion in market cap. That's bigger than Bitcoin at the moment. So Tesla's market cap is bigger than the Bitcoin market cap right now, which means that Tesla has the resources to buy it back up if it comes anywhere near Tesla's cost basis. It would just start to affect Tesla's bottom line negatively if Bitcoin broke substantially beneath its cost basis. I just don't see it happening. So with that being said, in all likelihood, from my perspective, I think Bitcoin's going to break bullish and retest the 60s in the next couple of months. One thing I wanted to draw your attention to was yesterday I covered Cake Token. And, it's interesting. I don't see a whole lot of people covering Cake Token, but, Cake Token is one of my favorites, and we're going to talk more about it in the days to come. But look what happened today. Yesterday I talk about it, and today we get a pop. I'm not saying it popped because I talked about it, but it's just a cool coincidence. Right now we're at a 15% pop over where it was yesterday, and it went as high as 31% today. So somebody knows something. Look at the RSI and look at the volume. Look at this huge volume bar. That tells me that it could be that the tides are beginning to turn. I mean, when was the last time we saw volume this high on the cake chart? Was back here on June 22nd. That was the last time we saw a volume bar that high. And what happened after that? Look at this. From June 22nd, pushed it all the way down. This was the beginning of a move upward that took us up to $27. Now, granted, that was bearish volume, but it was volume nonetheless. But if this volume continues, we're going to see Cake Token pump. If this volume continues, we're going to see Cake Token pump. Taking a look at the weekly chart, look at this. Okay. So comparatively, the volume on the weekly has not yet, we only had to go back to January to find this level of volume on the weekly. However, we're only halfway through the week. I mean, these volume bars are complete full week worth of activity. If we get a couple more days like we just saw, this volume bar is going to be up here in this area over here. It's going to look like it did over here. And what you can see is that when the volume moved up like this, the price moved up very substantially. So I'm looking for a burst of volume to continue on the Cake Token chart, and the price to continue to increase, as well as that 59% APY. Finally, we're going to take a look at XRP. Now, remember I said for Bitcoin on the daily, it depends on what happens when we break out of this triangle. Well, XRP was in the same type of situation, but in terms of price, we've broken bullish out of the triangle. And in terms of RSI, we've broken bullish. Notice the RSI came back down, retested the triangle, and broke out again. We could move this, something like this would be more accurate. So we've got upward momentum here in the RSI. We've got upward momentum here in the price. I think we're very close to a real breakout in the XRP chart. The main thing we need to see is some real volume. We're not seeing the kind of volume that we need to see on the XRP chart. We need some bigger candles like this and a number of them consecutively from day to day to day. When we see that, we're going to see the XRP price pump. Lastly, I'll just take a look at THORchain, Rune. I talked about this in my video yesterday as well. And sure enough, the RSI continues to move and the price continues to move upward as well. If we look at this on the daily, look at this. Wow. I mean, this move here is already at 110% at the top and 99% where it is. And if you go to the bottom here, we're up 168%. So yesterday it was 108%, and today it's at 168%. That means we've seen about a 60% increase between yesterday and today. So THORchain continues to move, and look at this in the RSI. I mean, on the daily, the RSI is getting into the overbought territory, which means that we're probably going to see a pullback on the daily, something like we saw here before its next move up. So yeah, notice we get up here. Once we get up here, we're going to have to start pulling back in the RSI. The RSI might have a little bit higher to go. If we make a higher high above this level here, that's strongly bullish for the foreseeable future for THORchain. So I'm going to be watching the RSI on the daily to see, are we going to break above that line on the daily in the RSI? If so, we're seeing higher highs. And, of course, there'll have to be a pullback for a few days, but then we could very reasonably expect to see the upward movement continue. I mean, look at the market change in volume from prior to February 28th to starting on March 1st. The volume has been just another level. And so this is what we need to see. We need to see volume bars on multiple other assets. And when we see those volume bars, we're going to see this market begin to move very, very strongly. All right, that's all I got for you today. Remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is just my opinion. Do with it what you desire. Also, do me a favor and hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, and leave me a comment if you enjoyed this content. But above all else, make it your aim to sleep in peace every night, wake in joy every morning, and walk in love every day. Everything that I do and provide for you on this channel is designed to empower you to do just that. Thank you so much for watching. This is CryptoGenic signing out.